Welcome friends to a review on the 2025 Bentley Bentayga S Black Edition. This is an all-new trim level for the Bentayga, and in this first section of the video I'm going to go through all of the latest updates for this S Black Edition. But a special thank you to Bentley of High Point, North Carolina for giving me this opportunity. This is the first and most experienced Bentley dealership in the United States. And if you want to purchase this SUV or any other Bentley product, I will have Chris Rivas and his phone number on the screen and in the description box for you to check out. And this dealership is able to ship nationwide. All right, let's get started with the 2025 S Black Edition updates. This S Black Edition, this is the first Bentley model in the 105-year history to get black wing emblems. The Black Edition also features Bentley's most agile chassis with all-wheel steering and sport suspension calibration for greater dynamic ability. These vehicles, they are powered by the 4-liter twin-turbo V8 with 542 horsepower and 568 pounds-feet of torque. Bentley claims that these SUVs can do 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, but actually Car and Driver managed to get a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds for these Bentayga S models. Anyway, these SUVs have a top speed of 180 miles per hour, and the Black Edition, we're going to see, of course, unique badging, and we also get dark tint headlamps, 22-inch wheels, and naturally with the S models, you do get the sport exhaust as well, which does sound phenomenal. And in general for 2025, when you go with the Azure or the S models, you will be getting all-wheel steering as standard. Previously, that was introduced with the extended wheelbase models, which I did a review on at this dealership. I'll have that video linked below. But with the addition of the rear wheel steer in the extended wheelbase model, that actually reduced the turning radius by about 1 meter, and that allowed the extended wheelbase to have a tighter turning radius than even the standard wheelbase Bentaygas. Well, now we have that same all-wheel steer system here with these Azure and S model Bentaygas, so that's really going to help tighten up the handling for your everyday turns and just make everyday maneuverability much easier, especially in parking lot situations. We of course have some interior enhancements, and I'm going to save that for the interior segment. But before we get out on the road, I just want to cover some of the dynamic changes. So the Bentayga S Black Edition, like we have here, they get an enhanced sport mode over the standard Bentayga. In the sport mode, you're going to get improved steering feel, greater turn-in response, and further reduced body roll. And this is all thanks to a 15% increase in air suspension damping and a unique electronic stability control, as well as a new Bentley dynamic ride tuning. The Bentley's torque vectoring brake system, that's also been recalibrated here. And as always with my reviews, I'm going to have the full press release shown throughout the video. But now that you are acquainted with this SUV and its various updates, let's go ahead and let's get this vehicle out on the road and see how it drives. Okay, so we have some various drive modes here. I'm going to start out with the comfort mode. And the modes in these Bentley vehicles, they do truly make a difference. In the comfort, you can really feel the SUV gliding over the bumps. Even over some of the larger impacts, you won't really feel them, you'll just hear them. The previous Bentaygas I checked out, they were riding on 21s, so they were a bit more compliant. Here with the larger 22s, you do notice that the ride is a bit more taut, but it's still very comfortable. We also have a balanced B setting as well, which that's the mode I really prefer driving in, but Bentley did say that they have enhanced the sport mode, so now that I have turned on to some of these back roads, let's go ahead and let's switch into that sport mode here as well. Immediately you notice that the drivetrain reacts a bit quicker. I'm obviously not going to go full throttle with this because this is a true dealership vehicle, but really you only need to drive these products half throttle for sure. This twin turbo V8, it effortlessly wafts you and you are easily passing people by. Now with some of the press models that I've driven, pushing that throttle all the way down, yes, you will absolutely get pinned into the back of your seat. I'm not surprised that Car and Driver was able to achieve a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds. But yeah, the 8-speed Tiptronic transmission, I mean, it reacts perfectly. It's so buttery smooth. And the way Bentley calibrates these twin turbo V8s, it just sounds phenomenal. I know it's used in other Audi, Porsche, Lamborghini products, but here the tuning is just excellent because you hear that bassy rumble of the engine through the exhaust system, but it's not overbearing. It doesn't get obnoxious by any means, but you are still aware of the crackles and pops. But then again, the vehicle is so refined and quiet, that's also part of the reason why you don't get too much of that exhaust noise being transmitted into the cabin. But from the outside, wow, this SUV sounds incredible. And because we have such thick double glazed glass on the sides, you pretty much get no wind noise, and that means you can be doing 15, 20 miles over the speed limit and not even notice it. And I gotta say, even in the sport mode, the ride quality, it hasn't gotten that much stiffer, but that rear wheel steer, it does help out in the corners, and it does make your daily drive that much easier. Yeah, you can kind of hear those upshifts there. That just brings some theater into the driving experience for sure. Something else I've noticed is, even in the sport mode, the steering doesn't get ridiculously heavy. In fact, it doesn't really change all that much. I gotta say, my most favorite addition to the driving experience, it's that rear wheel steer. Most of these products, they're calibrated perfectly to begin with, so any enhancements that they make, it's gonna be super subtle. But overall, I gotta say, this is another winner for Bentley. This black edition, it certainly looks the part, especially with this, about $25,000 paint job, the satin finish. It's very expensive, but it does look amazing. And I'm loving the all-wheel steer, but if that's all you want, once again, you can just get the Azure or the regular S models. The entry-level regular V8 Bentayga, it's going to start at about $208,000. The regular S, around $245,000, and the starting price for the black edition, it's around $266,000. The way you see it here, it's $293,000. Once again, it's because of that $25,000 paint finish. But with that established, let's go ahead and let's transition into this interior segment now. Okay, now that we are stopped, let's go ahead and let's talk about this interior space. So with the black edition, we do have some unique attributes as one would expect. So we have 7 different accent colors that we can choose from for the interior, and that's also going to affect the exterior as well. Here we have the Mandarin accent color, so that orange, it's a phenomenal contrast with the black. And these models also get a unique 3D carbon fiber weave pattern, which is great to see. It's certainly a more premium look in my opinion compared to the regular carbon fiber weaves that we have become accustomed to. And another feature that I appreciate here is we have a dark chrome finishing for all of the bright work. So the regular Bentaygas, they're going to come with true chrome accents around the air vents and the organ pulls. Here I appreciate that stealth look. Everything else is classic Bentley. I mean, the layout is excellent, has a ton of character here, top tier leather, and I love the leather aroma inside of these Bentley vehicles. Probably one of the best new car smells I have ever experienced. The solidity of the cabin, that's top notch. There is absolutely no creaking or rattling going on here. This feels like a true tank. Seat comfort is amazing, although I will say, I wish they would put this S logo on the headrest instead of in the middle of the seat. I think that's a better look in my opinion. And Bentley continues to offer us 3 different audio systems here. We have the Bang & Olufsen in this particular unit. And don't get me wrong, this is a top tier audio system, but I will say the name, it does edge out this Bang & Olufsen just by a little bit. I think the name is still one of the best audio systems I've ever listened to in just about any vehicle. But I'm super satisfied with this Bang & Olufsen. It's probably the second best audio system I've ever listened to. But I have to say, even the entry-level audio from Bentley sounds decent, and the reason why is because I like the tone of these audio systems. I don't know, it just has a warm, soothing sound. I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know the exact terminologies to explain this to you, but you'll just have to take my word for it. But this Bang & Olufsen, it's got a nice, powerful sound to it. You're going to be absolutely satisfied. The 10.9-inch infotainment screen, that works flawlessly. It's kind of like that Audi infotainment that's been reskinned, which I like because that's one of the easier infotainments to use. reacts quickly, and we do have the wireless Apple CarPlay, but I'm not sure about the Android Auto. That might be wired. But we have all the comfort features like heated and cooled seats, massaging seats, all of that works flawlessly, along with the heated steering wheel. We also have a wireless phone charger here. The center armrest, it's not massive, but gets the job done. The glove box is okay, and everybody's favorite feature, the physical buttons and switches for the HVAC. So happy to see that. The ergonomics of this cabin, it's great. Everything is easy to use. And this is the standard wheelbase model, and I am 5'11", and I can easily fit behind myself. That's not a problem, but keep in mind that extended wheelbase, that's essentially Bentley's true flagship model. And in the back seat of the EWB models, I can actually stretch my legs out straight back there, no joke. So if you're chauffeuring clients around, then I will say the EWB is nice, but for most people, this standard wheelbase will be just fine. And the quality continues back there. You can also enjoy the massive pano moonroof, and we have a good sized trunk in the back as well. Overall, impressive product. Let's go ahead and let's conclude this review. Concluding thoughts on the 2025 Bentley Bentayga S Black Edition. Well, as you might expect, when you get to this caliber of vehicle, there's really not much to complain about. The refinement, the comfort, the speed, and the agility, all of that is on point with this Bentayga. It is truly a privilege and a treat to operate this on a day-to-day basis. And most importantly, I love the way this company tunes the V8 engine. And the S models like we have here, they come with that sport exhaust, and it just sounds phenomenal when you have the windows down, people hearing it from the outside, or when you yourself, when you're playing with the paddle shifters, when you're upshifting, hearing those burbles and cracks from that bassy twin turbo V8, it's so satisfactory. And I should mention, you are able to get a hybrid version of these Bentaygas, even with the Black Edition. This hybrid, it's powered by a turbo V6 engine along with some electric motors to produce a total system output of 456 horsepower and 516 pounds-feet of torque. Bentley claims that the hybrids can do 0 to 60 in about 5.1 seconds. And you should be getting about 28 miles of pure EV range from the hybrid Bentayga. That's another benefit. So if you want a more efficient option, I'm glad that Bentley offers the hybrid, but come on, that V8, that is really the true gem and highlight here, as is the handcrafted interior space, the amazing materials, and the overall design. It's genuinely a feast for your eyes. It's built like a tank, and you have top tier audio systems here. I'm loving the Bang & Olufsen. Sure, I would have preferred the name, but oh well, the B&O is also doing a phenomenal job. And for those Bentley customers that want that extra exclusivity, I'm liking what this Black Edition has to offer. This is a sharp looking product, but of course, if you want to conserve, you can certainly spec out the regular V8s and the regular S models as well. And a regular V8 model, I mean, you can spec one out with some really good features and it'll still be under 240K. That is surprisingly good value in this segment, because I mentioned this before. Instead of spending 200K plus on products like Maybach GLS Benzes, the Turbo S Porsches, or top tier Range Rover products, I would much rather take that money and spend it on the Bentley vehicles. Not to mention the starting price of these Bentaygas, I believe it's almost half of what the Rolls-Royce Cullinan starts at, but you have almost the same level of prestige and recognition as something like a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. It's almost on the same level, but the Bentley can be had for almost half. Of course, the model I tested in this video, it stickers for $293,000. It's a very special spec with that unique satin black paint finish, which that alone costs about 25K. So if you operate a business or something that's truly lucrative and you need a vehicle in that $200,000 to $300,000 price range, you will not be disappointed with the Bentayga. And once you start cross-shopping, I believe you will see the value that this brand also has to offer. And these are my overall thoughts on the new Bentayga. Special thank you to Bentley of High Point, North Carolina for allowing me to review this SUV. Once again, this is the first Bentley dealership in the United States. So if you want to work with this dealership and purchase one of these Bentley products, like the Black Edition I reviewed here, or any other Bentleys, or even have a Bentley spec to your liking, you can reach out to Chris Rivas. I will have his phone number on the screen and in the description box for you to check out. Also, if you're in the Charlotte or in the Miami area, Chris Rivas also runs an exotic car rental company. So you can rent from him things like Lamborghini Uruses, Rolls-Royce Ghosts, Bentleys, Corvettes, Lamborghinis, etc. This company is called Billionaire Exotics. I will have his Instagram page linked in the description box of this video as well if you want to contact him regarding that or check out some of his vehicles. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.